Earth is flat, man.
Okay.
So why don't you think it's flat?
Because there's no evidence to support the idea that it is flat.
Oh,
That's
well,
the biggest reason for me.
okay. I believe it's a flat, motionless plane. Even on the NASA website, there's no actual pictures of planets. How do you explain that?
There's all kinds of pictures. You just deny that there are pictures. I've seen planets through my own telescope before, like with the naked eye.
Okay, but the pictures on
What
NASA's
about the
website.
pictures? They're digital pictures. There are pictures on film from the 60s of the moon and Earth and all that stuff. But you just deny that. So whether or not we've been to space is actually completely irrelevant to whether or not the Earth is a sphere or not. Do you realize that?
Okay, how come a
No, that you can say yes or you can say no. Do you realize that whether or not we've been to space is irrelevant to the shape of the Earth?
I don't believe we've been to space.
I didn't ask you if we've been to space. What I said was, this is 3 times in a row now, the shape of the Earth whether or not we've been to space is irrelevant with respect to the shape of the Earth. Correct?
Yes.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
So whether or not we've been to space is irrelevant. So we don't all of that. Go ahead and disagree that we've been to space. Don't care. There still is no supporting evidence that Earth is flat.
There is. So
There isn't any.
NASA says you could see curvature at 60,000 feet. I could fill you any picture of a weather balloon that doubles the height at 120,000 feet. You see no curvature in those pictures.
Or maybe you do.
You don't.
Here, watch this. Ready? Yes, you do.
It's not because it's just so big. You just can't see it.
So there is curvature, but from that height, you can't see it. Okay, we can go with that. It's kind of a weird angle for you to take, but, whatever.
Also, space doesn't exist, man.
It does exist. People have been to it.
So how come the North Star Polaris hasn't deviated an inch? Do you know how star trails work?
It has deviated. We have records from ancient astronomers.
No. Show me sources.
I don't know any off the top of my head, and I'm not going to point my camera at the computer because I'm actually playing Need for Speed right now. But why would the North Star changing its position, why would the North Star standing still prove that Earth is flat? I actually don't understand how that's even remotely relevant.
Because do you know how star trails work? They never
A
collide
star
or
trail?
Yeah, they never collide or intersect.
Yeah, they're light years apart from each other.
Okay, let me ask you another question. Do you believe we've been to the moon?
I do, but that's actually irrelevant to what the shape of the Earth is. I don't
No,
care to talk about whether or not we've been to the moon.
it's very relevant
It's not.
because the government is lying to us.
Which government? All of
Sure.
them
Let's
simultaneously
let's
for
say
decades?
let's say that we never went to the moon. That doesn't prove what shape the Earth is at all.
It does because during the Cold War was Fugazi. During
So
the
this was
during the
actually
Cold
the
War.
very first thing we talked about. Whether or not we've been to the moon doesn't prove anything about what the shape of the Earth is.
Okay, just
So
let me explain one time. During the
actually,
Cold
you
War,
already agreed to this, so it has been explained by you. So we're not going to discuss whether or not we've been to the moon because I don't care and it's irrelevant.
okay, but during the space race, the Russians actually
Yeah,
thought that
so
the Earth
if
was
you
flat.
talk about the moon landing one more time, I'm just going to kick you out because I don't want to talk about it and it's irrelevant.
I mean, it's not about the moon landing; it's who is participating in it.
What? Okay, let's just make this really simple. Discuss the shape of the Earth and nothing else. There.
Okay, the Earth is a motionless plane.
It's not.
It is a motionless plane.
It's not. So why would the North Star not appearing to move support the idea that Earth is flat?
because it proves that star trails never intersect.
According the globe model has an explanation for that, which is that the stars are many light years apart from each other, so of course they don't intersect. Did you not know that?
Okay, but how is it that we've been to Antarctica and there's more land and resources than the space of North America?
You think
But
there's more resources
yes,
in
land and resources.
Antarctica than there is in North America?
But
What what does that mean?
how come there's only
You cannot do any kind of agriculture. There's only one land animal on the entire continent, the emperor penguin. There's plenty of water, but it's so insanely cold that you basically don't have access to liquid fresh water anywhere at any time. So
how
what
come there's
resources are you talking about?
how come there's over 50 nations saying you cannot
There
you can't
aren't.
there's over 50
Whatever
nations
you're going
that
to
have
say is
treaties.
not true.
It is true. You can look it up.
All
Did you
we've
do your
done so
Google?
far,
No.
can I just point out, is ask how come. Like, this isn't you offering any evidence. You've said how come like 6 times, and that's just a deficit of your own knowledge on these subjects. You're not proposing any evidence contrary to the globe model. You're just exposing how ignorant you are to various talking points that you have brought up. How
Okay,
come stars do this? How come Antarctica? How come? You can find these answers. You
are
very
you
easily can. These aren't actual evidence to support your claim that the Earth is flat. They're just exposing your own non-comprehension of any of these subject matters.
okay? Are you aware how a gyroscope works and a compass?
Please enlighten us.
Yeah, assume that we don't know. Go ahead and tell us.
I mean, do you know? I
No,
know
we
what this
don't. So
says.
tell us. Teach me how a gyroscope works.
Are you aware what it is?
I don't even know what it is. So you're going to have to teach me that and how it works. Can you do
It's
that? Because I'm going to
it's
predict that you can't.
no, it's the thing on the planes that show you your altitude.
A
And
Oh, you're so dumb! A gyroscope does not show you your altitude.
then what does it do?
You don't know what it does, so we're moving on. We're not going to use gyroscopes because
Okay,
you don't know
we're
what they
moving.
do, so you can't argue.
Another
You
question.
cannot use the gyroscope as a piece of evidence to argue, so there's no point in talking about it because that'll just be information that you cannot use. So it wouldn't be
Okay,
fair.
okay,
And
we're
although it would
moving.
be really funny, I'm not interested in having a real like LeBron James wouldn't play a kindergartner in basketball, and I'm not going to talk to you about how
Okay, hold on.
gyroscopes work because you don't even know what a gyroscope is.
So how do you think a compass works?
I have no idea. Do you?
Yes, 1 point of north, 4 points of south. It's a flat Earth instrument.
It's not.
It absolutely is not.
All a compass does is align with the magnetic field.
Yes,
And we
the
know,
magnetic.
have you ever like any magnet, any dipole magnet will have curved, did you know that? Curved magnetic field lines that go from the magnetic north to the magnetic south pole. Where is the magnetic south pole on the flat Earth?
On the flat Earth, we have 4 points of south.
Where is the magnetic south pole on the flat Earth?
Whatever south.
No, because a magnetic south pole has to be a singular place. So where is the magnetic south pole on a flat Earth?
There's 4 points of it.
So, anyways, Earth being, according to you, a flat circular disk, a flat circular disk certainly doesn't have 4 points on it, and I have no idea what that even means, and you don't know what that means. I guarantee you don't know what that means. So, anyways, you brought up magnets, or compasses and magnetic. So, every single magnet will have a north and a south pole on it, and there are curved magnetic lines that stretch from those are the magnetic field lines. You can take a magnet, take some iron powder, sprinkle it, and then tap, 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 like put a piece of paper on it, and you'll see those curved magnetic field lines. So a compass works by lining up with those magnetic field lines. No matter where you are, it'll point to the magnetic north or south pole or whatever. So, knowing that magnets are dipole magnets, they have precisely no more, no less than one magnetic north pole and one magnetic south pole, where is the magnetic south pole on a flat Earth?
Are you aware that the Bible is a flat Earth book?
See, you changed the subject because you have no idea what you're talking about, and you're admitting defeat, which is why you jumped to the next thing. This is the 10th time you've done this. Where is the magnetic south pole on a flat Earth?
Well, that was fun.
Yeah.